Okay. Hello, 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 everybody. So, have you been trying to be a little bit more, I don't know, a little bit more calm, a little bit more chill? You're used to working all the time, and you've decided that you are going to stop trying to do all the things and you're just going to go with the flow. And you've been going with the flow. But then you look around and you find that this is not working for you either. Going with the flow is not, hey Kendall, going with the flow is not actually working for you. Well, we're going to talk today about why going with the flow isn't working. In fact, we're going to talk about three reasons why going with the flow isn't working. And why am I talking about this? Well, my name is Javonna MaeRhys, and I am a work-life balance coach, and I help women in their 40s recalibrate home and life so that they can live fully and authentically. So we're going to get right into it. And the first thing that I want to start talking about is, what does go with the flow even mean? People say it all the time, like go with the flow, go with the flow. Well, according to our dictionary, going with the flow means to do what other people are doing or to agree with other people because it's the easiest thing to do. So that's our first problem, is that we are looking to go along with what other people are doing or just agreeing because maybe we don't want to be seen as being difficult, or maybe we've been told that we're too vocal, or that we make people uncomfortable, and so we're just going with the flow. We're going along to get along. So that's the first thing, is understanding that definition. Now, in terms of the reasons why this is not working, because you would think it would work, right? Just being chill and going along. And at the end of this video, I will tell you a way that going with the flow can work, but the way that you're doing it right now is not working. And that's why you are feeling drained and disengaged and maybe even a little bit overwhelmed. And the first reason is that your values are wonky. So maybe years ago, you were clear. You knew what your values were, you knew what your priorities were, but somewhere along the way, you started working, you had kids, you're taking them to, football practice or dance lessons or, whatever. And you haven't really had time to think about what are those priorities, what are those things that you really want to build your life around. They're kind of nebulous and they're kind of in the periphery, but you've lost sight of them. And when I work with my clients, that's one of the first things that we do, is we figure out what are those priorities? Are they the same priorities or have they changed? And let's get back on the right page with what's most important to you, because once you have that, that's your blueprint right there. And that's where we really start our work, is from what are your values and what is the most important thing to you. Now, moving along, the next thing that is keeping going with the flow from working for you is that you have no damn business. And let me explain what I mean about that. We all have business, right? We all have stuff happening. But what I mean by this is that you don't have any dams in your life, meaning you don't have any boundaries. And so that is why going with the flow is not working for you, because boundaries act as a dam and they are blocking off the flood of things that are coming at you. Your boss asking you to do this thing, this person asking you to help out on this report, this person asking you, if you're a teacher, covering their class, and so having those boundaries acts as a dam, and that controls the flow. right? And if you don't have any dams in your life and you're just going with the flow, it's a flow that's not of your own making. And so that's another thing when I'm working with my clients is we start looking at what dams do we need to set up within our life. Now that we know what the values are that are important to us, what are the dams that we need to set up in our life so that we can control the flow and not be drowning in overwhelm, okay? And so the next thing that we're going to talk about is the third reason that going with the flow isn't working for you, and that is because you're wasting time. And by wasting time, I mean that you have no idea how you're really spending your time. And so you are not managing it. How many times have you looked up and you had all these ideas about things you were going to be doing, or you had a schedule for things that needed to get done, and you get to the end of the day, the end of the week, and you've not done any of those things, but all of these other things that weren't so important or weren't, high value items are getting done. So that's another thing that I work with my clients with is figuring out, number one, where are we spending our time? Because we need to be very clear about where we're actually spending our time. And then what can we do to manage that, to optimize that time so that we are getting the things done that we need to and want to for work. And then more importantly, we have time to do those things that are going to fill our cup and that are going to feed our soul, because we need to make time for those to happen as well. Okay, so the first thing, as I said, the reason why going with the flow isn't working for you is because your values are wonky. The next reason that going with the flow is not working for you is because you don't have no damn business, meaning you don't have any boundaries in your life and things are just flowing in, and you are not the one controlling that flow. And then the third thing that I just talked about was you are wasting time. You don't have any time management, okay? And so what I would say is you need to look at those values. You need to look at, after you've looked at those values, what are the boundaries that you want to set? And then again, you need to be tracking your time. And I have some videos coming up, so make sure that you subscribe, hit those notification buttons so that you can be notified when I go live or post a video, because I'm going to be doing some lives and videos coming up where we go more in depth on several of these things to kind of help you recalibrate your life. And if you're looking for some additional help with that, then I would invite you to sign up for a clarity conversation. You can head on over to JavonnaMaeRhys.com and sign up for a free clarity conversation where we can talk about some of the things that are making you feel adrift on that flow as you're going with the flow and it's not quite working, and we can work that out. The other thing that I would like to invite you guys to do, especially once you subscribe, you can be notified of my next live video coming up in a couple of days. I'm going to be talking to Marissa Price about getting freedom from your good job, because that might be one of the things that you're going along with the flow with. We're going to be having a great conversation about what you can do to be free from your job, and her whole journey of getting free from a toxic job and how she's helping to liberate Black women now. So I hope that you will join me for that conversation. And so until next time, thanks for joining me now, and for you guys to join me in the future. Leave a comment below and let me know if any of this resonated with you. And if you think it could help another woman, share it with one or two women as well. And I'll see you next time.